They say Jeff Bezos is rich, or Elon Musk, but none of them come close to one African king whose wealth was so massive, so legendary, it literally changed the world. This is the story of Mansa Musa. Ruler of the Mali Empire, the richest man in human history, Mansa Musa was born around 1280 in what is now modern-day Mali. He became the 10th Mansa, or King of Kings, of the Mali Empire around the year 1312. His empire wasn't just a small kingdom, it was a sprawling powerhouse that stretched across West Africa, controlling vital trade routes, colossal gold mines, bustling cities, and prestigious universities. Think about this: at a time when Europe was struggling through what historians often call the Dark Ages, the Mali Empire was a beacon of wealth, power, and knowledge. But what made him so incredibly wealthy that no one in history, not even today's tech billionaires, could possibly compare? The secret to Mansa Musa's immense fortune was gold. And we're not talking about a little bit of gold. At its peak, his empire controlled nearly half of the entire world's gold supply. These weren't just any mines, they were the largest and richest gold mines in all of Africa. But gold wasn't his only asset. He also had a tight grip on the salt trade, a commodity so precious back then that it was often considered just as valuable as gold. Imagine controlling two of the most sought-after resources on the planet. But wealth alone didn't make him a legend. It was what he chose to do with it that etched his name into the history books. In the year 1324, Mansa Musa embarked on a journey so extravagant it single-handedly crashed the economies of entire nations. In 1324, as a devout Muslim, Mansa Musa decided to make the sacred pilgrimage, the Hajj, from his capital in Mali all the way to Mecca. But he didn't go alone. This was no ordinary journey. He brought with him a procession of 60,000 people. That's enough to fill a modern stadium. This massive caravan included 12,000 servants, each one dressed in fine silks and carrying a staff of pure gold. It also included soldiers, scholars, and his royal officials. But the most stunning part, he brought 100 camels, each one loaded with up to 300 pounds of solid gold. And thousands more camels were there just to carry supplies for this mobile city. Everywhere he stopped along his journey, Mansa Musa gave away gold. He gave it to the poor, to local merchants, and to the leaders of the cities he passed through. When his incredible procession finally reached Cairo, the capital of Egypt, he spent and gifted so much gold that he unintentionally caused mass inflation. Gold became so common in the city's markets that its value plummeted, and the local economy didn't fully recover for over 12 years. This is the only known time in history that a single man had so much control over the world's gold supply that his actions could reshape the economy of a major global city. But Mansa Musa wasn't just a man of incredible wealth, he was a visionary, and he was building something far greater than just a personal fortune. On his journey home from Mecca, Mansa Musa didn't just bring back souvenirs. He brought back the greatest minds of his time, architects, scholars, and builders from across the Middle East. With their help, he transformed the city of Timbuktu into the intellectual capital of Africa. He commissioned the construction of the Grand Gingerbread Mosque, a masterpiece of Sahelian architecture that is still standing today. He founded universities and libraries, creating vibrant centers for learning in astronomy, mathematics, and theology. Timbuktu soon attracted thousands of students from all over Africa and beyond. At its peak, the city was home to hundreds of thousands of manuscripts, making it one of the largest and most important collections of knowledge on the entire planet. Some historians argue that his empire rivaled the greatness of ancient Rome, Greece, and Egypt. But sadly, his incredible story would soon be forgotten by much of the world. As a ruler, Mansa Musa was as wise as he was wealthy. He established a system of just laws. He protected the crucial trade routes that were the lifeblood of his empire. And he expanded his territory through a clever mix of diplomacy and military strength. Under his rule, cities like Gao, Timbuktu, and the capital, Niamey, flourished. They became cosmopolitan centers of commerce and culture. Merchants from Europe, Arabia, and North Africa traveled thousands of miles just to trade with the Mali Empire. For a time, it was one of the most powerful and undoubtedly one of the richest empires the world had ever seen. Mansa Musa died around the year 1337, leaving his vast and prosperous empire to his son. But after his death, the empire's fortunes began to change. Internal conflicts, invasions from rival powers, and the slow shifting of trans-Saharan trade routes all began to weaken Mali. The empire started to shrink, the great city of Timbuktu slowly lost its power and influence, and the legend of the richest man on earth, the king who could flood a city with gold, slowly faded from global memory for centuries. But history never truly forgets greatness. And eventually, the world would rediscover his story. In modern times, historians and economists have tried to calculate just how rich Mansa Musa truly was. When adjusted for inflation, they estimate his wealth would be worth somewhere around $400 billion today. That figure makes him, without question, the richest individual in all of human history. His empire laid the foundation for West African culture, scholarship, and trade for generations to come. His story is powerful proof that Africa was home to empires of incredible wealth, power, and complexity, long before the era of colonialism. Mansa Musa was more than just a king with a lot of gold. He was a builder, a visionary, and a ruler whose wealth and ambition reshaped the world around him. His story is a powerful reminder that Africa's greatest stories are not lost, they are simply waiting to be told. If you want to hear more powerful stories of Africa's forgotten empires and fascinating chapters of world history, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.